So welcome, my name is Joseph Terry. I work over at the English department, adjunct lecturer in the English as well as the philosophy department. We will be doing a variety of things today. For the first 15 minutes, however, I will be going through this idea of a philosophical construction. Philosophy meaning one who studies wisdom and knowledge. Right? So keep that in mind. Philosophical construction about ecology, or the environment, and our relationship to it. What is the relationship? This is the question you want to have in mind as we go through. What is the relationship between us as human beings, right, and the environment? So today we will be unpacking that. I have a few slides. After I'm done with this, it's going to take about 15 minutes or so. We're going to jump into something quite interesting and informative. I think you will like it. Okay? So today is Humanity is Green, Eco Experience, and Philosophy. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the question is this: why concern ourselves about the environment? Right? Why think about these things? Well, since the dawn of time, since humanity had the ability to cognize, to think about things other than survival, humanity has always been confronted with the beauty, with the grandeur, with the awesomeness of the ecological realities, the environment, the planet. Whether it be the weather, the Grand Canyon, what have you, humanity has always been interested in it, right? And it also has informed us as to how to live. So even from the spiritual motif to the scientific motif, we are always confronted and informed by ecology, by the environment. And up here I wrote a little snippet. You are free to read as I go on. Again, environment in this sense, from a philosophical perspective, is something that arrests us, right? Ecology is something that grabs us and informs us, okay? Next slide, please. And the question is this: why really? Why should we care? Such a glorious day like today, beautiful. The sun is out, weather's getting nice, people are going to the gym, getting ready for the spring, they're flexing their muscles, they're doing their thing. The question is, why should we care? Yeah, the environment is this and that. Yeah, I heard about global warming. Of course, I sit on the Q train and I go into the city and I see all these ads about, we should conserve energy. The question is this: why should we care? Hopefully today I'm going to try to, in the next few minutes, unpack a philosophical reason why we should care. Why should we have ethics and a particular morality that dictates to us, that helps us to be appropriate stewards, appropriate caretakers of the world around us, okay? Next slide. And here's the straightforward answer. We should care about the environment, we should care about the earth, we should care about ecology simply because it is us, okay? Humanity is green. What does that mean? In what sense are we intrinsically connected, intimately connected with environment, okay? To be human, I have up there, is to be caught up in ecological reality, okay? There was a philosopher by the name of Martin Heidegger who deals with a big mouthful of words, huge topic called existential phenomenology. And there are some other philosophers as well that deal with being in the context of the other. This might seem a little abstract. Hopefully I will try to unpack that today for everybody. All right? So to keep it straightforward, keep it real simple, we should care simply because it is caring for us. It's almost an anthropocentric point of view. Hopefully, though, I will unpack it. Next slide, please. There was a philosopher by the name of a Norwegian philosopher, Arne Naess. He's no longer with us. He actually passed away this past January. And this philosopher did some time thinking about our relationship with the environment. He created a system of thought, a philosophy called deep ecology, or let me get this right, ecosophy, okay? Which is a combination, a marriage between the study of the environment, or ecology, and philosophy. And out of these things, out of this particular philosophical construct, he articulated that, you know what, to be human is to be forever intimately connected with the environment. Now, this is a very important idea, right? Let's try to unpack this a little bit. There's two main principles. One, the connectivity and interrelatedness of all life on Earth over against anthropocentrism. That's pretty out there. What this philosophy, with regards to this point, is saying is this. You cannot have a full anthropology. Some of you are studying anthropology, right? You cannot have a full understanding of what it means to be human without understanding the environment and our relationship to the environment, okay? That we are so intimately connected to ecological realities that to speak of humanity outside of the context of environment is to speak amiss, is to miss the mark. We do a disservice. It's actually a dehumanizing way of viewing humanity, okay? And also the second point is that self-realization by means of ecology or ecological awareness is possible. In other words, what this philosopher is saying, right? This Norwegian philosopher is saying, he's saying, we tend to think about us, about, for example, Joseph Terry, who I am, in the context of physicality. In other words, I think of myself simply by looking at my body. This is who I am. I am not you. I am not this coffee cup. I am not extended into space. Perhaps I'm extended into cyberspace, things like Facebook and mitigating your identity through those things, but we don't need to worry about that, right? But we tend to think, in other words, about self included in the body. This is the limit of myself. What this philosopher is saying is that we need to rethink about selfhood, human, right, personhood, in relationship to the environment. In other words, I can begin to think about myself in outside of the borders or boundaries of my skin. Right? I am more than my skin. I am more than my physicality. Actually, I am one with the earth. I am one with the environment, the oceans, the spring, whatever is out there. That is part of me. To disregard that part is to disregard an aspect of who I am. Okay, this is what this particular philosopher for many years wrote about and articulated. Now, I'm going to read the quote, it's not a quote really, but this is a statement I'm going to say something about in 1 minute. Deep ecologists claim that before knowing what we ought to do, we must understand who we really are. What does that mean? What they're saying is this. Before I begin to really think about global warming, about the rising sea levels, before I begin to think about pollution appropriately, I need to really re-examine myself. In other words, I need to begin to see myself connected with all that is. Once I have this idea, once I have this paradigm, this worldview, this way of seeing myself, then I know that issues like ecology or what have you are not outside issues, right? But they're issues as if just like you have a sprained ankle, it's part of you. This philosopher is saying you need to, before you begin to examine ecology, you need to first examine yourself, your idea about yourself, in order for you to have an appropriate understanding of studying the world around us. Okay? Next slide. It's quite abstract a little bit. Okay? I have on the top, ecological factors are an anthropological necessity. Big word, right? All that is saying is this. To be human is simply to really be mindful of the ecology, and not only that, to be human is to be one who is dependent, right? One who is dependent on ecological variables. In other words, I have to depend on the water supply, right? I have to depend on the produce. I have to depend on the air quality. All these things are contingent on my well-being. If those things are messed up, I'm messed up.